Hi guys, it's Joe and you're watching Metrofone.co.uk. Now, despite being released in autumn 2013, the iPhone 5S remains one of the most popular smartphones on the market. Plus, it has the advantage of being significantly smaller than many of its closest rivals. Plus, let's face it, it looks pretty cool too. Let's take a closer look. In terms of dimensions, it comes in at 123.8 by 58.6 by 7.6 millimeters and weighs 112 grams, which makes it look teeny tiny against newer releases. But when you consider that its big bro, the iPhone 6, is over 1 centimeter longer and another wider and weighs 20 grams more, while HTC's new M91 is 2 centimeters longer and a whopping 40 grams heavier, then you start to remember that having a smartphone that's actually pocket-sized can be pretty handy. It has flat, squared off edges with metal trim, something that was changed to a more rounded aesthetic with the iPhone 6 to improve wireless reception, but actually makes it look like a more solid, sturdy handset and, dare I say, a wee bit manlier. It also comes in either gold white or silver white, both of which keep up that classy feel, with the gold just looking a little more bling. It comes with Gorilla Glass in its original incarnation, and the volume and lock buttons are on the top left edge, with the lock off button on the top right, the tray for the nano SIM on the right hand side, and speakers, charging port and headphone jack all on the bottom, while Apple's familiar home button is at the bottom of the front of the phone. The 5S has a 4-inch screen, something that does seem fairly disappointing when compared with recent releases. It has a resolution of 640 by 1136 pixels with a PPI density of 326, which is the same as the iPhone 6 but is significantly less impressive than other handsets available, plus, of course, nowhere near full HD. The key feature of any iPhone is how brilliantly easy to use it is, and the 5S is no exception. iOS is wonderfully intuitive, and the App Store can't be matched for the sheer range of add-ons that are available. As standard, it comes with voice-activated help Siri, which, on the advert, is eerily competent, but in reality, asking it to do anything more than the simplest instruction is a bit like asking a drunk friend to perform a complex surgical procedure, i.e. painful and unadvisable. You also get music, podcasts and books, which are all much easier to use, and it must be said that with the advent of Apple Music, all iPhone users pretty much have the capability to have a top-end integrated streaming service as standard on their phone. There are also other features like Keychain, which looks after passwords and important details, and it comes with a thumbprint scanner, which is nice and accurate. But the first step that any new iPhone 5S owner should take is to download Google Maps and Google Calendar to replace the built-in equivalents, as they're absolutely rubbish. However, you do get iCloud, which is very, very handy indeed. It comes with iOS 7, which is upgradable to 8.4, which is good as 7 was full of glitches. The 5S also runs the Apple A7 chipset, which, combined with a dual-core 1.3 GHz Cyclone processor and a PowerVR G6 430 quad-core graphics chip, keeps everything running incredibly smoothly, and running multiple complex applications at once is pretty easy. For example, you can have email, a cloud storage app, and a document editor all open for work, while music, video and Safari are also open in the background, and you won't really experience any lag. Just goes to show that RAM isn't everything. It has an 8 megapixel 3264 by 2448 pixel main camera with autofocus and dual LED, and a 1.2 megapixel secondary camera with face detection. The main snapper will shoot video at 1080p at 30 frames per second and 720p at 120 frames per second, while the secondary can do 720p at 30 frames per second, and all this is fine and was fine for 2013, but given that some new releases are now shooting in 4K, it does seem a little uninspiring. Now, anyone who's spent any length of time with any iPhone owner will, at some point, have heard a variation of the sentence, "Ah, my battery's rubbish, that's so annoying." And that has always been the iPhone series' major downfall. The 5S has a non-removable lithium polymer 1560 mAh battery, which should apparently get 250 hours standby time and 10 hours talk time on 3G. Personally, I'm dubious, but whatever way you spin it, iPhones are famous for poor battery life, hence the thriving industry that's grown up around battery cases and portable chargers. So what you get with an iPhone 5S is gorgeous, cool design, ease of use, and great functionality. However, the downside is a poor battery life and a screen and video playback that are a long way from cinematic. However, it's a brilliantly simple smartphone that you don't have to be smart to use. That's why I've got one.